Going up. Going up. Uh-oh. You know what that is.
This is not out of propane.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Forsberg.
And I'm Dylan Hughes.
And welcome to the Fix It Flat 50th Anniversary C10 build.
So there's a port here that's got a cap on it and a port here.
You're recording this, right?
Fuel pressure, fuel obviously goes right in here. You want to keep about 6 PSI, 5 to 6. If you get too much, it'll start bubbling over, of course. It'll flood, it'll start bubbling out these holes. Start percolating right out these holes.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the key thing to look for. You want to make sure it doesn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all mechanical. So that's the key, is it's just all mechanical.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. If you want to increase your idle speed, you'll screw this in. If you want to back your idle speed off, you'll screw it out. And it may pop. First time you get it started, don't be surprised if it does backfire, right? It's a common thing. This is a very dependable, solid foundation that you can do anything you want to do. Yeah. It's a 8.5 to 1 motor. It's a 4-bolt main block. It's all brand new components. The cylinder heads that are on it, those will easily make 500 horse if you want to put a different piston in it, a cam down the road. Yeah. The intake manifolds are Performer or Staple Performer series intake from idle to 5500. So this combination will be really sweet for this truck.
All right, well, thanks a lot for coming by, Kerry. You've been very informative, very helpful, because we don't know what we're doing. Honestly.
We really don't. We really don't.
My first car, Carb 101.
Yeah, Carb 101. And it was just really cool to go through this thing and kind of learn the ins and outs of it and see where the vacuum ports go and, you know, talk about the fuel pressure.
Sure.
5, 6 PSI.
Exactly.
I mean, that is all like mind blowing to me, because we're up at, you know,
I'm pretty sure I can do that with a straw.
I know, right?
Speed this.
So yeah, all really interesting stuff. So thanks for coming by. We
You're
appreciate
quite
it.
welcome. It's my pleasure. It's our honor to be part of this project, and I really appreciate you guys putting this in. Always love getting hands-on with stuff, so I'm happy to teach you. So if there's any questions or anything, we can help you at any
Cool.
text service or phones or anything. Just give us a call. We're happy to help.
Right on. Well, I'm sure there'll be something.
Oh yeah, it's Christmas in July out here. All right, it finally showed up.
Finally.
This is the day. Yeah, we have the drivetrain. We've had the engine sitting around waiting to go in, but we needed the Gear Star rebuild 700 R4 transmission so that we can mate it all together and slide it in and take this to the next level, where we're getting into the front end, the wiring, the plumbing, and everything else. We've been playing around under the dash, getting like the brake boosters and the pedals and everything into place. But this is what we've been waiting for.
Oh yeah. So definitely been painting a bunch of brackets, got all the suspension stuff all figured out, so that feels good. Now we just gotta like jam these two together and we're gonna swing this whole thing in there. So first things first, we should probably take that grill off, right?
Yep.
And then figure out how to mate these together, and hopefully it's gonna be easy and it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Oof.
Ah, they're nailed in.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
GT45, 1, 2, 3.
Going up.
Going up. Uh-oh. You know what that is.
This is not out of propane.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what that sound is. So we are bolting on the flex plate, starter ring, whatever you want to call it.
Using the all-new Thread Locker Orange Gel. Really liking this stuff. Kind of has like a little bit of a thicker consistency, so it's not quite as watery, but I think this stuff is gonna do the trick because we really, really don't want this falling off of here.
Nope.
Like at all, like ever, so.
Ever. It's the real deal, dude, 24 karat. We're gonna do 64, it's a good number.
So we're just about to mount the transmission onto the engine for the first time, and it says that we need to clean the pilot bearing and then put a little bit of grease on it. So I went ahead and grabbed my Real Purple Ultra Performance grease. I'm gonna smear a little bit, just a little bit right here on this guy. It's time to slide this thing on. Oh my God, is it bolted down?
No.
How much it weighs?
Move over there.
No, I just wasn't ready.
Motor's about ready to go in. Motor mount, we gotta lift that a little bit off the ground. We gotta pull the motor mounts off. We gotta bolt the new motor mounts on. Slip her in there. And don't drop it.
Some spraying in there.
Yeah, it's interesting that we just happen to have the right motor mounts. Just bolt right in there.
Up a little more. Keep going. That'll work. Okay, now go down a little bit.
Hang on, I'm gonna start tilting.
Yep. Okay, keep coming in. Keep going. Keep going. Well, it's time to throw some exhaust manifolds on, dude. Some fresh headers, some black
Exciting
paint.
stuff, dude.
Exciting stuff.
I'm committed now.
Oh, shiny.
Man, really solid day today.
Yep.
We got a lot done.
It was a little bit of work. We had to do a little customization, right?
Yeah, of
but
course.
but it's in.
Check it out, look at that! Edelbrock V8,
Yeah.
under the hood. Well, not under the hood yet, but
Yeah,
at least it's in its home.
It is, and it's looking really good. Even threw the headers on real quick. We figured out some hardware that we need, so we ordered that up so we can bolt those down for good. Then we can put the rest of the exhaust on, and then some of the accessories that we still need. We gotta make a quick trip to AutoZone and get those pieces: alternator, power steering pump, little pulley kit. And a thermostat, little things like that, and we'll have this thing all buttoned up, all the accessories on, ready to fire up.
Yeah, one of the funniest things about today was when we went to realize that we were like, all right, we're gonna throw this trans on, we're gonna bolt it all together, we're gonna slip it in this car, it's gonna be great. We sold the motor mounts. Sold the motor mounts.
Yeah, it like hit me on the way back from picking up the transmission. We're like, where
Where are those motor mounts at?
motor mounts go?
Wait, were they on the motor when we sold it?
Yeah,
Potentially.
they sure
So
were.
luckily.
Go back to Facebook Messenger where I sold the thing on Marketplace, and I text the guy. I'm like, hey, you still got those motor mounts? Like, yeah. I'm like, you gonna use them? He's like, no. I'm like, cool. My bro Danny's on his way over. So,
Quick trip to LA.
they're back.
They're back. So these were the motor mounts that actually held up the other V8 that originally came in this truck. And we got them back and they look great. So,
Yep.
you know.
It's all in there, fresh hardware, looking good.
Yeah, looking real good. So it worked out. Just really glad that it's locked down in its home. Now it's just buttoning up everything around it. So
Yeah, rocks out.
I'm gonna order all the parts that you guys don't have. I think it will work.
So right now, just went on a little adventure trying to get the heater core hoses. So I was only able to find one of the barb fittings down at our local shop. So I still need to do the top hose, which is gonna come out right there. Try and knock things off the list, stay productive, while these guys are doing some other stuff, but it's pretty good.
Spark plugs are going in, dude. We're ready to fire this thing.
Pretty awesome.
Dude, I hate putting in new spark plugs because I feel like I'm stripping it every time. Well, we got one rando, slightly longer one. Come on out. Nice. I'm kind of impressed that they make this and the hoses. So, and we got a little fan kit, so just going through this because it's all part of the wiring. Make sure everything's wired up for when we fire it up. Once we're done with the engine stuff, get the front end back on, then we can put the rad in.
Well, I'm attempting to reassemble the gas pedal. I don't recall how it came apart, so I'm trying to figure it out. Looks like a bunch of guys online modify them. So that's what I'm considering right now. Trying to figure out how we get the right leverage ratio in there and everything.
This is exactly what I was looking for. It's gonna work fantastic. Super weather strip adhesive. Sticking all the rubbers.
So I've been working on the throttle linkage, trying to get this thing ready to go so we can get that gas pedal to work. In order for this thing to let off of the gas as soon as you pull off of the gas pedal, so you don't just give it the throttle and then let off and it just stays there, which would be a bad thing. So what we need to do is add a return spring to it. So the new throttle linkage is gonna come back here to this little lever back there. So what we do is when you hit the gas, you want it to be able to snap off always as soon as you let off the gas. So what I did was I made a small bracket that bolted onto this intake manifold. I utilized one of the holes that was already there, and then I added this little spring to it and made a little plate so that this thing doesn't just take off down the road when you let off of the gas. Seems to work pretty good so far.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
That's what it's gonna sound like.
No, that's the rear window.
Climate control box that controls for the defrost and the floor vents. It was a little damaged, so we're just modifying it a little bit so that it fits better and works better. All these old parts have been in circulation so long, things are a little bent, a little out of shape on it.
Doing the stuff that no one else wants to do, scraping old rubber gaskets, rubber seals from the windows. Got all the new seals here, so this truck will be quiet when you're driving down the highway, so you don't have the canary in the window.
There you go. Can you go towards you a little bit?
That's all I got.
Just waiting. Jimmy.
This isn't my toolbox. Missing a lot of things that I have. I just- Well, when you don't get the right hardware, you make what you have.
So we got this Mishimoto radiator specifically for the Chevy C10. So the brackets were just a little bit different, so I had to modify it just a little bit. So I decided to utilize this front factory core support here, and I went ahead and made a couple little brackets, drilled some holes through the bottom of it, and then turned up some spacers on the lathe just so it can kind of set that radiator up where I want it. So you can see that I turned those guys up and everything's looking pretty good so far. Now that I got it at the height that I want and the bottom is locked down, all I have to do is go ahead and make little pieces that come off of the top of the core support here. And then we're gonna put 2 nutserts on the top of the radiator and build some sort of connectors right here. And that's really gonna tie this thing together, make it nice and solid. Then we can put the hoses on. I think I still have to weld 1 or 2 more bungs on the side of it to mount the overflow tank. But that's pretty easy stuff. I can do that on the bench over there. But definitely feels nice to have this thing mounted.
It even opens and almost shuts. To be continued.
I have a power steering pulley that is stuck on there. Get these lines off for starters. or make more of a mess. So, never actually done this before.
You know, like if tailgates could talk, what would this one say? It's probably seen a lot of things.
Oh, this is it.
So I made this throttle linkage setup here, and one of my issues was when I hit the throttle, this jam nut right here is hitting this piece, which is basically your kickdown for wide open throttle, I guess. So what I need to do is I need to space that off of there a little bit, and this is a really big hole. So what I did was I ended up taking a piece of aluminum and I turned it down so this end will fit right in there. You can stick this bolt right through here, right through there, and one, it spaces it off, and two, it fills the gap in that little hole. So all I have to do now is tighten this down.
This is a new seal and lock, so it also locks as it seals.
Radiator is officially mounted. Pretty solid if I do say so. Just gotta add some hoses now.
Gassing her up, dude. Gas going in, water going in. I was doing just fine. I had my muscle shirt on and everything.
Oh, hold on a sec.
Oh, hold on.
The gun show.
Hang on, let me just hold this funnel.
Are you flexing?
Yeah, you
I'm
know.
not.
This is it. It's gonna work.
Clear?
Yeah.
Clear!
Dude, it runs! Fires up! It runs! First try, Jimmy really nailed it. He, he primed up the carb for it.
Oh, yeah.
Really put on a show.
Yeah.
And it just fired right off. It was awesome. And it was really great having him come in and help get everything kind of together because there's obviously a lot left to do and we only have a little bit of time. But yeah, that Edelbrock motor fired right up.
Fired right up. It feels awesome to hear it, and it actually sounds really good.
That's really good.
Didn't exactly put the whole exhaust on, so it's open headers right now. But it does sound really slick. We have one little fuel leak that we got to figure out. It seems like we got a weird fitting on the pump we got to figure out.
I think we just need a different pump. That one didn't really look like it was seating well. We tried a different fitting. That one still leaks. So I think it's on the pump side.
Right. But I mean, nonetheless, it didn't overheat, which is cool. And just one little leak, like, no worries. I'm stoked.
No problem at all. So we're going to tighten it up tomorrow, fire back up, break in that cam, get this motor all tuned up, tight and right, and finish putting this thing together. Good.